Okay, so here we have the BIOS setting simulator for our 243 projects. So the motivation behind this is to be able to control your CPU fan speed based off of your CPU temperature, and that's just to simulate the actual BIOS utility.
So what's happening here is we're emulating CPU temperature using this transistor-based analog temperature sensor, and what that's doing is it's reading, going through an analog to digital converter on the D1 SoC, converting it to a 12-bit value, and then we've calibrated the temperature sensor to room temperature, so it's around 25 degrees right now, and you can see if I heat it up a bit with my hands, it changes. And then once we have a temperature command, we convert that to a duty cycle, which controls the speed of the fan through something called pulse width modulation, which is through these two wires. And we weren't able to drive it properly at 5 volts because our level shifter, we were having a lot of issues with ringing, so we just got rid of it, and we're getting a clean square wave, but we are losing around 16% power. So now let's do the actual demo. If I turn the power supply on, so I'm just powering it with 12 volts, and I want you to notice the current draw will increase as the fan speed increases, and you can also see the fan speed, temperature, and CPU load on the VGA display. So if I start, if I put the soldering iron on it, you can see that the temperature is actually increasing on the hex here, and you can hear the fan getting faster and faster. So it's around 5,000 RPM. And then if I take the soldering iron off, the temperature decreases pretty quickly, and it'll eventually go down. And you can see the duty cycle changing on the screen here. So that's a direct mapping. I'll turn this off because it's getting pretty hot. And now Annie's going to show on the VGA for us.
So on the VGA we have everything displayed with character buffer, and we have to change that dynamically as well as to change integer values to character. And then we also are able to integrate that with PS2 keyboard as well as audio. So I'm just going to demo PS2 working. So you can switch between your menu and your exit screen, and if you decide to exit, you'll hear the audio as well as the blue screen, which actually breaks everything, and you have to restart the system and re-download it for everything to work again. And yeah, that's our 243 project.
Yeah.